Let's break it down. Across America, millions poured into the streets for the No Kings protests. These weren't your average rallies. People from all walks of life showed up, united by one message. We elected a president, not a king. The movement's name is a nod to America's roots, rejecting unchecked power. Protesters believe President Trump is acting more like a monarch than a president, and that's got people worried. This wasn't just a fringe group. The sheer turnout showed a deep, widespread concern. The protests erupted in response to a series of Trump administration actions that many saw as overreaching. People saw a pattern ignoring checks and balances, sidestepping Congress, and pushing the limits of presidential power. So they organized, making signs, chanting, and marching for miles. Their goal? To send a message that democracy is at risk, and they won't stand by quietly. The scale was staggering. Millions, not just in one city, but nationwide. This wasn't a one-off event. It was a sustained, coordinated movement. Protesters wanted to show this isn't about party politics. It's about protecting the foundation of American government. They believe something fundamental is at stake. The system that keeps any one person from having too much power. The message was clear. Americans are ready to defend their democracy, no matter how long it takes. And they made sure the whole world was watching. So what's driving this outrage? At its core, the No Kings protest is about fear of authoritarianism. Protesters say Trump is running the country like a one-man show, ignoring Congress, the courts, and even his own advisors. They point to moves like commuting George Santos's sentence and launching military actions without approval. To them, these aren't isolated incidents. They're signs of a president pushing past the limits of his power. The concern isn't just about policy, it's about the structure of government itself. Democracy relies on checks and balances, and protesters believe Trump is actively undermining them. They're warning. America is on a slippery slope toward autocracy. By chanting "No Kings," they're defending the founding promise of government by the people. The protests are their alarm bell, before it's too late. When millions protest, a president has choices. Listen, open dialogue, or troll. Trump chose the last option, flooding social media with memes mocking the protesters. The most infamous? An AI-generated video of Trump in a fighter jet, wearing a crown, dumping sludge on the crowds below. It was meant as satire, but for many, it crossed a line. Trump's supporters loved it, seeing it as him fighting back. But critics saw a president dismissing legitimate concerns with mockery. Instead of calming tensions, the video poured gasoline on the fire. The message dissent isn't welcome, and your voice doesn't matter. For millions, it was proof that Trump doesn't respect the democratic process. The trolling didn't just miss the mark, it made the protesters point for them. In the age of social media, even a joke from the president can deepen the divide. And this one did exactly that. The backlash to the AI video was swift and fierce. Politicians, celebrities, and activists condemned it as divisive and beneath the office. Hillary Clinton called it deeply disturbing, while others said no president should mock citizens, even as a joke. Hashtags like #SludgeGate and #NotMyKing trended for days, fueling the outrage. The video even dragged in Kenny Loggins, whose song was used without permission. He quickly distanced himself. For many, the video wasn't just a bad joke. It was a symptom of a bigger problem. It confirmed fears that Trump is more interested in inflaming tensions than uniting the country. The controversy pulled in people who weren't even involved, making it a cultural flashpoint. The message was clear. A line had been crossed. The outrage wasn't just about the video. It was about what it represented. And it showed just how raw the country's divisions have become. Did the White House back down? Not a chance. Officials defended the video as harmless satire, telling critics to lighten up. Trump doubled down, calling the outrage fake news and releasing more memes. The administration's strategy: energize the base, ignore the rest. For supporters, it was proof Trump won't apologize or back down. But for millions, it was a sign the administration doesn't care about their concerns. This us versus them mentality only deepened the country's divisions. The White House's trolling may have fired up supporters, but it alienated everyone else. In the end, the joke became a wedge, not a bridge. Let's zoom out. The No Kings protests and the sludge video saga tap into a deeper anxiety about democracy's future. Critics say Trump's presidency has tested the limits of American institutions. Actions like pardoning allies and bypassing Congress feel like autocratic moves. Mocking peaceful protests only adds to the alarm. For many, these aren't just policy disputes. They're existential threats to the system. Trump's satirical response seemed to confirm the protesters' fears. The people in the streets see themselves as democracy's last line of defense. The administration's dismissive reaction only made them more determined. This isn't just politics, it's a fight for the nation's soul. And the stakes have never felt higher. Step back, and the divide is clear. Two Americas, two realities. One side sees a president threatening democracy, the other sees a fighter against the establishment. Social media is the battleground, amplifying every meme and outrage. The AI sludge video became a symbol, satire to some, an attack on values to others. Protesters feel ignored, supporters feel emboldened, and the cycle intensifies. It's not just about policy anymore, it's about identity, values, and patriotism. The No Kings protests and the White House's response show just how far apart these visions are. The space for compromise keeps shrinking. America's struggle isn't just political, it's cultural, and it's personal. And that's the real story behind the protests.